Human history is a complex tapestry woven with threads of interaction, conflict, and cultural exchange. One of the most impactful forces shaping this tapestry has been colonialism. It left an indelible mark on societies worldwide, profoundly impacting their cultural landscapes. From the Americas to Africa and Asia, the reach of colonialism has shaped languages, traditions, and beliefs, leaving both scars and legacies that continue to resonate today. This essay explores the multifaceted impact of colonialism on cultures. We will define colonialism, examine its negative and positive consequences, and delve into specific examples from different continents. Finally, we will emphasize the critical importance of preserving indigenous cultures and learning from the lessons of colonial history. Colonialism, at its core, is the practice of one powerful country asserting control over another territory. This control can manifest in various ways, including political domination, economic exploitation, and cultural assimilation. European powers, driven by a thirst for resources, wealth, and influence, embarked on ambitious colonial ventures, subjugating vast populations and reshaping the geopolitical landscape. Colonial powers often imposed their languages, religions, and social structures on the colonized, seeking to assimilate them into their own cultural mold. This process of cultural imposition had profound and often devastating effects on indigenous populations, leading to the erosion of their traditions, languages, and identities. One of the most destructive impacts of colonialism was the suppression, and in some cases the eradication of indigenous cultures. Colonial powers often viewed indigenous cultures as inferior or primitive, seeking to replace them with their own. This cultural imperialism manifested in various ways, from banning traditional ceremonies and practices to imposing European education systems that devalued indigenous knowledge and languages. The loss of language was particularly damaging. Language is not merely a means of communication, it is the lifeblood of a culture, carrying its history, values, and worldview. When indigenous languages were suppressed or replaced, it severed communities from their heritage, creating a sense of cultural dispossession that continues to affect generations. Section 4. Seeds of Progress. Colonialism's Complexities. While the negative impacts of colonialism are undeniable, it's crucial to acknowledge that the legacy of colonialism is not entirely black and white. The history of colonialism is a tapestry woven with threads of both progress and exploitation, advancement and oppression. In some instances, colonial powers introduced infrastructure development, such as railroads and hospitals, which were previously non-existent in many regions. These developments often facilitated better connectivity and access to healthcare. Additionally, colonial administrations brought advancements in medicine and education, establishing schools and medical facilities that provided services to local populations. These institutions sometimes laid the groundwork for future educational and health systems. However, it's essential to recognize that these benefits often came at a high cost, including the exploitation of local labor and resources. Indigenous people were frequently subjected to harsh working conditions and oppressive policies. The infrastructure and services introduced by colonial powers primarily served to further the interests of the colonizers, rather than genuinely uplifting the colonized populations. The benefits were often unevenly distributed, favoring the colonial elite. Moreover, any discussion of the purported positive impacts of colonialism should be approached with sensitivity and a critical lens. The cultural and social disruptions caused by colonial rule had long-lasting effects on indigenous communities. What might be perceived as progress from one perspective could be viewed as disruption and exploitation from another. The duality of colonialism's legacy continues to shape the socio-economic and cultural landscapes of former colonies to this day. Section 5. Echoes of Empire Colonialism's Impact Across Continents. The impact of colonialism varied widely across the globe, shaped by factors like the colonizer's approach, the duration of colonial rule, and the specific cultural context of the colonized region. In India, British colonialism led to the suppression of local industries and the imposition of English language education, leaving a complex legacy that continues to shape Indian society today. In Africa, the arbitrary drawing of borders by European powers during the scramble for Africa disregarded existing ethnic and cultural boundaries. This has resulted in ongoing conflicts and instability in many African nations, highlighting the enduring legacy of colonial interference. Section 6. Preserving the tapestry of cultures. In the wake of colonialism, it is more crucial than ever to prioritize the preservation of indigenous cultures. These communities have faced centuries of oppression and marginalization, yet their resilience and strength continue to shine through. These cultures, rich in history, tradition, and wisdom, are an invaluable part of the world's cultural heritage. The stories, songs, and practices passed down through generations hold the keys to understanding our shared human experience. Efforts to revitalize indigenous languages, protect sacred sites, and preserve traditional practices are not just about maintaining the past. They are about empowering communities to thrive in the present and future. Supporting the transmission of traditional knowledge is essential for healing the wounds of the past and ensuring the survival of these cultures for generations to come. This includes teaching younger generations the skills and wisdom of their ancestors. Governments, organizations, and individuals all have a role to play in supporting indigenous communities and celebrating their cultural expressions. Collaborative efforts can lead to meaningful change and sustainable development. By embracing diversity and promoting cross-cultural understanding, we can create a more just and equitable world that values and respects the contributions of all cultures. This celebration of diversity enriches our societies and fosters a sense of global unity. Section 7. Learning from the past, shaping the future. This section delves into the profound impact of colonialism on our world, exploring its far-reaching consequences and the lessons we can draw from it. The legacy of colonialism is a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked power, cultural arrogance, and the exploitation of others. It serves as a historical lesson on the devastating effects of imposing one culture over another, often leading to the erasure of indigenous traditions and identities. By studying colonial history, we can gain a deeper understanding of the forces that have shaped our world, and develop a more nuanced perspective on contemporary issues. This knowledge empowers us to recognize patterns of oppression and exploitation in modern contexts, allowing us to advocate for justice and equality more effectively. As we move forward, it's essential to carry the lessons of the past with us. Reflecting on historical injustices helps us to build a more equitable future, ensuring that the mistakes of the past are not repeated. We must strive to build a future where all cultures are respected, where diversity is celebrated, and where every individual feels valued. This vision of inclusivity and mutual respect is crucial for fostering global harmony, and where the mistakes of colonialism are never repeated. By acknowledging and learning from these historical errors, we can work towards a world that prioritizes human dignity and collective progress. Let us work together to create a world where cultural exchange is a source of enrichment and understanding, not exploitation and erasure. Through collaboration and empathy, we can build bridges between communities, fostering a global society that thrives on diversity and shared human experiences. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you liked this video. See you in the next video. Goodbye.